What's going on, everybody? ALGORIDGMO Mafia. How are the people doing, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the saddest moments that happened this year in the UFC, guys. Right now, 2023 was a great year for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC. We had some awesome fights, some amazing knockouts, some amazing submission wins, a lot of upsets. You know, it was a great year for the UFC, but someone has to make a video on the saddest moments, all right? Now, I'm just going to say it. This year, it was kind of mellow, you know, like not the craziest year of all time, but there was a couple moments where I really just started shedding tears, bro. I'm not going to cap. I was kind of crying, and I felt a bit sad when I saw these moments happen. So today, guys, we're going to go through each and every single sad moment. I'm going to start off at the start of the year with January. You're going to get the point, all right? So we're going to start off with UFC 283. Now, this was the first pay-per-view card of the year in January, obviously, and this event took place in Brazil. And I'm not going to lie with you guys. I guess Colby Covington was kind of right when he said Brazil was a dumb.
I should have knocked him out. Brazil, you're a dog. All you filthy animals suck.
Because, you know, we had two legends who were fighting on this card, two Brazilian UFC legends, Glover Teixeira and Shogun Rua. I mean, if you don't know who these fighters are, you are an absolute casual. You know, I don't even want to call anyone a casual, but I'm going to have to bring it out. Listen, man, both these guys were retiring in Brazil. They mentioned before their fight, this was going to be their last fight in front of their home crowd, Brazil. And Brazil, you know, the Brazil crowd treated them like absolute shit. I actually felt really bad for Glover Teixeira and Shogun Rua. You know, they did not even stick around after the fight for Glover Teixeira. I think it was like halfway through the title fight between Jamal Hill and Glover Teixeira. The Brazilian crowd, like, most of the crowd had, like, already left, and they just left Glover to fucking die, bro. Same with Shogun Rua, so I just thought, you know, that is so disrespectful towards some absolute Brazilian UFC legends like Glover Teixeira and Shogun Rua. So for that, I think Colby might have been right when he said Brazil was a dump, but in all seriousness, we're never going to forget the legends that are Shogun Rua and Glover Teixeira. But we're going to move on to an even sadder moment in the UFC for 2023. Merab Dvalishvili dominating Petr Yan 5-0 in a 5-round fight. All right, now all I'm gonna say is, you know, the Petr Yan fans probably gonna be some of the worst in the sport, and I'm not even gonna explain why they're so annoying, but I will quickly show you guys MMA Guru's reaction to Merab dominating Petr Yan.
It's over. Yan lost to Merab 5-0. Stupid little cuck bitch. You fucking ugly little cunt! You goblin fucking cuck!
As you could see, you know, the MMA Guru was not too happy with his prediction. I mean, that guy absolutely sucks at predicting fights, let's be real. But on a serious note, I did pick Merab to win this fight, so I am an absolute genius for that. Yeah, the fact that Merab went in there, absolutely dominated Petr Yan, you know, it was kind of sad to watch myself. You know, I didn't want Merab to win that fight. If you asked me who I would rather see at the top of the bantamweight division between Merab Dvalishvili and Petr Yan, I definitely would have said Petr Yan, but, you know, we have to, you know, look at what happened. Merab absolutely dominated Yan. It is what it is, bro. Now we have to see Merab fight for the belt. You know, one of the most, just, no one gives a shit about Merab. That's all I'm going to say. So this one did sting for all the MMA fans. I'm not going to lie. It even hurt me a bit, you know, predicting Merab to win the fight. I wanted Petr Yan to win, but, you know, I'm just a god when it comes to predicting fights. But we're going to move on. We're going to head straight to April 2023. Israel Adesanya defeats Alex Pereira by knockout. I'm not going to lie with you guys. I think this was CGI. I don't remember this honestly happening, but I have woken up to reality, and it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? This was probably one of the saddest moments of the year. I'm not going to cap. Now, when Israel Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira, I wasn't really coping, you know, but I was still very upset for Alex Pereira. That's my boy. I'm not even going to play the clip of Alex Pereira getting knocked out by Israel Adesanya. You know, it just breaks my heart even more every single time I watch it. But I have to say, it was a very epic knockout by Israel Adesanya. But, you know, seeing Alex Pereira get back up on his stool after being knocked out, bro, I almost started crying, bro. You know, Chuma, I felt really sad, bro. I don't know what to say. You know, Alex Pereira getting knocked out by that weirdo, man. Like, shit, man. That put me in a bad mood. Definitely a really sad moment this year. But we're going to move on to July. The absolute legend, ruthless Robbie Lawler gets a knockout victory in his last fight against Nico Price, then retires straight after. Probably one of the best retirements in the UFC, you know, with a lot of legends in the UFC, unlike Shogun Rua, who went out on a loss. We're trying to see these legends go out on a win, man. You know, go out on an absolutely amazing victory and then retire. And that's exactly what happened with Robbie Lawler. Goes in there, knocks out Nico Price, as you can see. And this was a very emotional one. You know, Robbie Lawler is an absolute legend. An honorable mention before we move on from July, guys. On the same card at UFC 290, we had Dricus Du Plessis defeat Robert Whittaker by knockout. Guys, this was very, very sad, all right? We all know we're all big Robert Whittaker fans down here in Australia. We love the guy, and to see him lose to Dracus du Plessis, you know, by knockout in the second round was very sad. So I'm going to chuck it on the list. That's an honorable mention. We're going to move on to arguably the saddest moment of the whole year in August 2023, all right? The Korean Zombie versus Max Holloway. Now, I don't know why this fight was booked. You know, I think this is what the Korean Zombie wanted, but we all know this is not what should have happened, okay? The Korean Zombie should have been given, you know, somebody else just to get a win and then retire, but he went out in brutal fashion, got knocked out cold by Max Holloway, who is known for knocking out nobody. Okay, this guy has pillow hands. He hasn't knocked out anybody in a long time, so to see him knock out Zombie, it just kind of really shows that the Korean Zombie no longer has that durability that he once had, you know, that amazing granite chin. He could take a bunch of shots, and then he's going out there getting knocked out by Max Holloway, who is, you know, known for knocking out absolutely nobody. So, a very sad moment indeed. What an absolute legend the Korean Zombie is. Like I said, this fight should have never been made in the first place, but I think this was like a fan favorite fight, a fight that we deserved to see, so fair play to both men. We're going to move on to September. Now, this one's a bit controversial. Rafael Fiziev gets injured in the middle of his fight against Mateusz Gamrot in the main event and blows his knee out, basically has the fight called off. Yeah, this was a really shitty way to end a great main event between Fiziev and Gamrot, two top 10 lightweights. This fight was very competitive while it lasted. You know, it just sucks having to see fighters get injured in certain fights that we need to see the ending result of, you know. I wanted to see who was going to win this fight. Fiziev goes in there, gets his knee fucking blown out. It is what it is, man. A sad moment indeed. Alright, boys, now we're going to move on to October, alright? We all know what happened in October. Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski, the rematch. Alexander Volkanovski gets knocked out brutally in the first round with a head kick and punches. This was one of the saddest moments of the year, no doubt. I keep saying, you know, every moment was sad, but to see Volkanovski get absolutely brutalized like this by Islam Makhachev in Abu Dhabi was very, very sad, okay? Obviously, let's be real, you know, Volk took this fight on like fucking 12 days notice. He should have never been in there, but the UFC needed a big main event for UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi, and my boy Volkanovski stepped up. You know, he took the fight on short notice. Nothing but respect to Volk, but I don't see anyone beating Abu Dhabi Islam. Like, if there's any mythical fighters in the UFC right now, I think Abu Dhabi Islam is an absolute tank. I don't see anyone beating this man in Abu Dhabi, but yeah, just a very sad day, man. You know, seeing him get head kicked, getting wobbled all over the place, then seeing Volk at the post-fight press conference, you know, crying and tearing up, that shit was sad for the homies. A very sad day for all the boys, man. Seeing Volkanovski lose, we're not very used to it, but seeing him get knocked out is just different, man. So, a very sad day, but we're going to move on to the last month, December. All right, now we could talk about Kevin Lee, our guy, getting choked out cold by Renat Fakhretdinov as a very, very sad moment. Or we could talk about how Tony Ferguson has, you know, fucking lost every single fight in the last couple of years and how extremely sad that is. But we're going to talk about my brother in Christ, Beneil Dariush, and how he has been stopped twice this year by knockout. All right, now this one hits me in the chest, man. This one is very, very sad. All right, everybody thought Beneil Dariush was the guy to beat Islam Makhachev. You know, people were talking about Beneil being the dark horse of the division, and then he went up against Charles Oliveira earlier this year, got finished in the first round, got absolutely brutalized, you know, never even stood a chance in that fight, decides to come back 6 months later, fights Armin Sarukian, who a lot of people think will be a future champion, and he gets knocked out even quicker in the first round, not even like 2 minutes. Beneil Dariush has had a very rough year in 2023, and, you know, so have I watching these very, very sad moments. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for the end of the video. If I missed out on any moments that you thought were extremely sad this year, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. Go check out my last video on ranking UFC referees on a tier list. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you guys want to see down below in the future, and I'll see you guys later, man. Oos!